Trulli are traditional stone buildings only found in the Etria Valley, deep in the south of Italy. They have a conical stone roof and were generally constructed as dwellings or storehouses. Traditionally they are built without any cement or mortar. Over the past 5 years, Trulli houses have become very popular amongst British people looking to buy a house in the sun. This unique style of construction can be seen all over the local landscape, where most of the fields are divided by dry stone walls. Les and Patsy from Leicester recently retired after a life of hard work in England. They heard about Trulli through the media and decided to visit Cisternino to see for themselves. They want to buy a house in the country where they can retire in peace.
I mean, when we first came here, I don't think we knew what to expect. We'd seen
Trullis on the television.
We'd no idea of the size of them.
I wouldn't come here if we didn't have a Trulli.
No, we wouldn't.
That's the whole point of being here.
We would never buy just a basic house here.
After a few days taking it easy in Cisternino, they've organised an appointment with the local estate agents who specialise in Trulli houses. As more and more British buyers come to the village, the agency has started to work closely with Pietro Semeraro, who is a local freelance sales manager that has spent so long in England that when he finally came home, the locals started to call him Peter.
I decided to come back because that was more than 9 years ago, because I thought the times were ready for a big tourist industry and also for, let's say, an estate sales experience. So the first, just to give you an idea really, the first experiences I had with the British for buying property started more than 8 years ago. The visit which we did with Les and Patsy, they saw the area, they loved the area because it's more natural, it's an area which is unspoilt, very Italian, very Apulian. It's all within the Etria Valley area, right. Actually, which is the Trulli area, which is the most attractive area.
The Etria Valley is bordered by the villages of Cisternino, Martina Franca, Locorotondo and Ceglie Massapica. The tiny farms, the low dry stone walls that separate the fields from the olive groves, and the Trulli dotted around the valley all come together to create a perfect storybook atmosphere to buy into.
I mean, that
valley
is the
fantastic.
valley. I mean, it's a wonderful view, and it's magical. Lilliput Lane.
It's fantastic.
The mystic and magic side of Trulli are recognisable in the symbols painted on the stone cones. Not all of them are decorative or even old pagan symbols. Some of the symbols have a distinctly Christian history that twists and turns down the centuries, following the changes in religious beliefs, like the wishing well that pushes away misfortune. In Alberobello there is a truly Catholic church, but it is not only the local Catholic religion who worship under the cones. In the 1980s, the Indian mystic Sri Babaji founded an ashram in the heart of the Etria Valley, using a Trulli as a temple. It is a peaceful place that now has become a gathering point for believers from all over the world. The followers in the ashram believe that the Etria Valley will be one of the last places left at the end of the world.
So if we buy here, we'll be one of the last people on earth then, will we?
So when we walk the streets of London and they say the world is nigh,
we'll come back to the Ettrian Valley and we'll be okay.
Les and Patsy decided actually when they came into Puglia that they wanted a property which was keys in hand. Very little, no work at all really. It had to be a property which they could live in. Bathroom, you can see. Tanke, flooring, bidet.
And the one that's got the availability to modernise further, would you be able to put us into contact with someone who could help us do that?
Yes, absolutely. With builders and also with architects.
Daniele Casaro is one of the local architects who really understands Trulli houses. His work on renovating these old properties is so popular because he's so keen on keeping their history.
Being very close to the structure, working with the structure and feeling the structure. What I think is that Trulli, as we saw, they are old, sophisticated buildings. This is the final synthesis of a stone wall construction.
The architect doesn't believe the old legends that the local peasants created dry stone buildings so that they could easily be dismantled by removing the keystone when the taxman called round to the village.
And they're just so pretty. The light here is wonderful anyway, but when you get these lovely light-coloured stone, this lovely with the red in it.
I'll introduce you to the manager, who is Mr. D'Amico.
Oh, okay.
And we'll actually go together on the properties with Mr. D'Amico.
Okay, fine,
So we'll actually do this viewing together.
Okay.
They had their ideas very clear. They knew exactly what they want, and so therefore we hope that one of these properties which we showed them will be one of the properties which we will sell them.
Hello there.
Hello, Mr. D'Amico.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
He's the manager of the agency, so he's actually always running about, checking all of those branches everywhere, and he's never in the office.
He's out making money all the time.
Yes, correct.
Together with Peter and Mr. D'Amico, Les and Patsy head off to see their first property. Their first impressions inside a Trulli exceeded their expectations.
Everything was a surprise. And actually, when you get to them, they are really substantial buildings.
The Trulli looks like a simple and poor building, but it's very sophisticated technique of construction. The pseudo vault of the Trulli doesn't push on side, but it pushed on a vertical line, because the stone, they stay one on the other.
Yes, it's very, very nice. They have the canted flooring. Yes.
How does the water work here?
So you don't have any mains water. Usually all these properties, 90% of the properties here are with water systems.
In olden times, the well was an essential element of a Trulli house. Stone gutters between the cones channeled the rainwater into the well, supplying fresh water for a single house or for a group of houses where a few families were living.
So that was the bedroom window?
Yeah, the last house. I don't know what you thought about house number one. Personally, it's fragmented. It's really set for 3 apartments rather than we were looking for one house with the opportunity of putting
You could
people
knock
up.
it through. You could knock it through, but then it's already £300,000.
Yeah, it's already expensive.
Then you've
you've
got
got
to
to knock it around.
That's for your pizzas and your bread, fresh bread.
Yeah. It's nice.
Would you be able to take this away for stone?
to expose the stone?
questo, no, Piero?
Maybe.
No.
Questa è cemento.
It's actually
Oh,
cement.
okay.
Adesso non è che è caldo.
Okay.
It's a bit hotter, warmer.
Because it's stone.
Because this is
It's not
concrete,
stone.
so it's
It's not
stone
stone.
walls and the concrete.
Correct, that's right.
I thought the gardens were very nice. I thought that where the swimming pool could go was fantastic. But it's not what we're looking for.
Fantastic.
I like this bit.
Can't believe it, can you? You show the whole house and this is the bit she likes.
But you always fall in love with something.
Les and Patsy will now visit a house that is completely made of Trulli cones. Even though it has been recently renovated, the traditional structure has been left totally intact. Will they like a true Trulli house?
This is different. This is different, isn't it? Very nice with the wood ceiling, yeah. Yeah.
Stone features,
Yeah.
fireplace, warm alcove, and then
And the wooden ceiling as well.
wooden ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
No.
House number 2 I didn't like at all.
No, it was just like walking into a cellar, wasn't it?
Just didn't like it. Not interested in house number 2.
No. I
Felt
didn't
like a trog.
It just felt like living in a cave.
No, I didn't like
but it was more what we're looking for.
It looked so pretty.
But then you see, if you were going to turn the house into what you want, it's going to cost such a lot more money.
For extension of the property
Into
from the back.
Oh, okay. Not
Quanti metri possono fare?
45.
About 45 square meters.
Over the past 30 or 40 years, many of the local people took advantage of the possibility of extending their Trulli houses. Unfortunately, this often meant building massive concrete houses next to the Trulli. Trulli are now considered UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and so the local laws have changed. It's now only possible to extend Trulli houses by building new stone cones.
This experiment to keep really the tradition, we didn't make any join in the middle of in between the stones, and we kept this for 1 year until the owners start to ask me to make it, because there were some snakes, some little small animals coming inside.
The back is nicer than the front.
Yes. It looks a lot bigger
Yes, it does.
here than it is inside.
Because the walls, I said, they've been kept originally as they are, so very thick walls inside, so no space has been reduced inside, in a sense recovering space in the walls.
How easy is it to get the cone restored?
For the cone you need to actually call in stonemasons,
Right.
okay, which are trullari,
Yes.
and they would come in, so you need to actually take it all apart
Right.
and then replace the whole stone.
So the
And
whole-
actually we
the
get
whole
this
roof
sort of
can-
feature afterwards.
Okay.
With the new stones and the grey stones, they would combine. So if it's
Okay,
actually
so
too
it gets-
fragile,
Yes.
they would eliminate it and put new stone in
Right.
instead.
So they take the whole lot off.
The restoration of Trulli must be done by specialised builders called Trullari.
Francesco, who is the master trullaro, is very helpful for us, even in the planning phase, where, as you can see, working very closely. It's not like the concrete, where with calculation we can plans, we can size. Based on the experience of these people that works with the stone, with this construction for many years, they can really teach us how the dimension of the architectural elements, of the structural elements have to be designed.
The Trullari hand down the old traditions of stonework from father to son. In the same way, most of the Trulli houses are passed down through the generations. In the next house that they visit, Les and Patsy meet Maria. Her family have owned this Trulli since the beginning of the last century.
92 anni.
92.
Yeah.
92
Fantastic. No.
Really?
Fantastic.
Fantastico, vero? 92 anni.
Tell the lady I hope I look as good as this when I am 92.
Ringrazio il Padre Eterno che mi tiene ancora in vita.
Ma certo.
What, sorry, Pietro, what did you
No,
say?
it's actually thanking God that you're still, let's
Oh,
say,
okay.
standing and alive,
Okay.
eating, still
Okay.
living life here.
Well, I hope I look so fit when I am 92.
Anche di più.
Let's face it, living in the Itria Valley, Les probably will be very fit at 92, just as the lady said.
We always have soup.
Oh, do they?
It's good for the health, I don't know.
Okay, well it
92,
works.
it
Obviously it
works.
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 It's
Lot
So
of
is
li-
it
a lot
soup
of
with
liquids.
pasta? Soup with pasta.
Soup with pasta, that's why I think it's just vegetable. Soup
Like,
with
like we would have in England minestrone.
Like a minestrone type
Okay,
thing.
very nice.
So
Perhaps we'll stay.
It's house number 3 was lovely.
It was.
It was
Everything we were looking
fantastic.
for when we first came out.
It had got the Trullis
Yeah.
and it looked really pretty.
Yes.
It had got the tall bedrooms
Yes.
so that you wouldn't be claustrophobic.
The gardens
The
are
gardens are fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Va oltre perché c'è la pineta, poi c'è il bosco.
There's the pine woods and also the woodland on the back.
Yes. So it has everything. It has the Trulli,
Yes.
it has the big bedrooms, the
Vedi?
separate rooms.
Everything.
It's lovely.
And it was just perfect until we went to house number 4.
So, what is so special about the last property? We know it's been renovated by Daniele, so perhaps size does matter.
It was a farmer house made by Trulli and a part which was a casale. Then in the middle there was this illegal concrete construction that was made to recover the animals. We arrived to the idea to take it out completely, to put it down, the legal part, the part who was completely hiding the Trulli. And this was the first movement that we did during the renovation.
And then we fell in love with house
And then
number
we just,
4.
yeah.
Because that was just stunning.
I couldn't fault house number 4. It was absolutely, it was more than we were expecting. We thought the renovation was fantastic.
The architect has done a lovely job.
The architect has done a fantastic job.
I mean, that huge lounge. Certainly no problem having a party there.
Having families there.
It's all so big compared to the others. Look at this.
I love this window as well. It's a massive window. The view is
Stunning.
fantastic.
And the Trullis, look at this.
All the cones. This is nice with the cones, the different heights of the cones. But also there are some people close by, but they're not too close as well, which is nice.
Well, this one's quite close, look.
Yeah, but it's
far
a nice,
enough away.
Yeah, it's nice.
The international appeal of a Trulli is amply demonstrated by Ori Maron, who moved here from Israel several years ago. He teaches architecture at the Stockholm University in Sweden and bought the Trulli next to the house that Les and Patsy are currently visiting.
8 years ago, through a very good friend of mine that was once a student, was invited here to visit him. I saw this valley and immediately decided that I would like very much to stay here for a while. I knew about Trullis many years ago because during my education I had a professor that was often discussing something called architecture with no architects, and then Trullis came very much in the discussion. So I knew about the Trullis, but I never really bothered to get to visit the place. So Trulli was very obvious. It was obvious. I would say close to some kind of architectural pornography.
It's a room and bath.
Look at that!
Let's see if I can. That's right. So that's water for you. Traditional tap. We have the water.
Modern, beautifully designed, got fantastic fittings.
But Ori has a different opinion.
I would say the planning, and it's again, I would not say it's the architect because the architect had other ideas, is very much, is not really much in the spirit of the Trulli. You have separate apartments. The new part is one apartment, and then you have 3 little extra rooms, so you don't really live in a Trulli. As I said, it's nice and it's pleasant and it's pleasurable. This is not what I would choose for myself to live in.
Therefore, the British are always looking for something unique, particular. And this is really what attracted them to the area. The Trullo is a building which is cool in the summer, it can be easily heated in the winter. So therefore, it's I think more or less its uniqueness.
We originally came here because we wanted to buy a Trulli. That's why we are here.
It's giving us both.
Yeah,
things. It's giving us almost a villa.
It's almost 2 houses.
And the Trullis.
It's a modern living accommodation, but with the Trulli for bathrooms and for our guests to stay in. So we've got the best of everything, really.
And they've kept the Trullis rustic.
Yeah, they have.
But put the modern bathroom fittings in that match the house.
Yes.
So that it looks as though it all belongs.
We don't like him. No. He's the dangerous one, I think, is he?
That's right.
Yes, he's the
It's
one.
not part of the house, but if you want, we can include it in the house.
I'm out of here.
Don't like
He
him.
moves too quick for me.
We don't like him.
No.
But we do like the house. I love this.
Yeah.
This is
No,
very,
that's,
very nice. We were able to buy the Trulli, but live in a farmhouse.
We just liked
It
it.
just fell in love with the place.
Will Les and Patsy buy the house they liked? It seems they really want to catch the dream and finally own a unique property, just like so many of their countrymen have before them.
I mean, the beauty here also, if you wanted to run this as a bed and breakfast place, you could rent 3 rooms off.
Correct.
And still have your own living space.
Private living space.
Yeah,
Yes.
and have 3 bed and breakfasts.
Yes.
So make a small business here as
They
well.
originally came for a Trulli, but they need more space to live in, and maybe a swimming pool. We know this house is worth more than £300,000, so we leave them talking money to the agents. Recently, the locals have started complaining about inflation. The British buyers have been pushing up the price of Trulli too much for their liking, even though the locals have often left them abandoned for decades or replaced them with concrete boxes. While the British love the uniqueness of a Trulli, they often find them lacking in some of the basic creature comforts and end up transforming them into conventional holiday villas. To breathe fresh life into Trulli, two things are important. The magic and the simplicity of the landscape must be preserved, and their value and history must finally be appreciated by those that grew up here, and not just the visitors that come to buy them.